The best salespeople in the world are the ones who do it without you even noticing. Everyone's a salesperson, especially if you're an entrepreneur. In the I'm Not Salesy podcast, join me, Cassie McKenzie, and my fabulous guests as we dive into the top strategies, mindset, and energetics around sales and money so that you can hear more, yes, I'm in, instead of crickets or getting ghosted. So if you're ready to fully book out your programs with aligned AF clients and have people chasing you down in your inbox, asking how to work with you, then subscribe to this podcast today and become not salesy too. Hey, welcome back to I'm Not Salesy. I am your host, Cassie McKenzie. Okay, let's get into it. If you don't know me by now, I am I don't know why I'm laughing. I'm a goofball who spent 24 years in sales. I still support virtual pharmaceutical sales teams and sold nearly $10 million in sales in my first year. But I tell you that to tell you this. I also have hustled. I've also worked my butt off and neglected my health, held my pee for 3 hours just to get to another sales call quickly or to get home faster. Didn't eat lunch nearly every single day unless I was sponsoring a lunch for an office. All in all, I haven't really treated my body the best over the last, I guess, let's just say 30 years. And this past weekend, I went to an event that was hosted by one of my mentors, Rosie Victoria. And in it, we had this energy healing experience that I want to do a whole nother podcast episode about. So I'm not going to go into too much detail today. I'm still kind of processing everything. But what mainly came out of it was that my body has been so stressed out in a fight or flight mentality since the age of 7. And I didn't even realize it. I know I've managed chaos. I know that I've, had a very stressful job at times, and which, I've self-medicated either with, alcohol or drugs at times, or another vacation, or a scary show to watch, or, some other thing to spike my, excitement level or to dull the excitement level. And what I've found as a high achiever and somebody who always loves being number one, I consider myself a winner. I love working with people who consider yourself a winner too. I don't feel like there's any guilt that you need to have or feel just because you like to work or just because you like to, be number one or be the best at what you do. I think that's natural for us. However, that comes with the caveat of honoring where your body might be in fight or flight mode and allowing yourself to have, excuse me, I've got some sort of allergy cold here from Florida, to allow yourself and allow your body to calm down. It's possible. I really believe it's possible to have crazy, amazing, out of this world, blow your mind business and type of life because I see other people doing it. And I think it's possible to do that and be a high achiever. And it all comes down to that nervous system work. Now, I used to get really annoyed when people would say, heal your nervous system, because I didn't really fucking know what they meant. And even as somebody who's really interested in biology, in trained in NLP, trained in a lot of different types of modalities, it wasn't until I started practicing breath work that I started to notice a change in how quickly I could shift my energy. And I signed up for a program with my mentor, Alessandra. We did an episode together on the podcast about a year ago. You can go back and listen to it. It was one of the first 10 episodes, I believe. But in her business expansion experience, I actually had the opportunity to start doing a breathwork certification class. And I wasn't really serious about it until this past January. And in this past January, like literally last month, I was sitting here, I think like cleaning the bedroom in preparation for my in-laws to come visit for a month. And I realized like I want to add embodiment work into the coaching and mentorship that I do. And I was thinking like, okay, what's the best way for me to teach people how to get themselves back in their body again? And like, ding, ding, you hear my phone, ding, ding. Like immediately the answer became breath work. And I became so serious about studying breath work, not just studying it, but like doing the full breathwork certification. It's a lot of time and a lot of reading and a lot of practice sessions and stuff like that. But something deep inside me was like, no, you've got to do this. Like this is really what you're meant to do right now and what's meant to add to your coaching and mentorship programs. And then I take myself into this, this experience this past weekend where literally I find out that my whole adrenal system needs some serious work. Like I can't ignore it anymore. I've basically been in like fight or flight mentality, or not mentality. My body has been in fight or flight. Even when mentally I haven't felt like I'm in fight or flight because I've been so great at managing chaos and harmonizing with the chaos, whatever. My body itself, it was very tied up in like fight or flight and trauma and things that happened really early on in my childhood, which continued on through my teenage years. And so I tell you that to tell you this, like it solidified for me so much about how and why I need to add this breathwork component, which I'm calling Big Sales Breathwork, into my coaching, because you can have all the money in the world, but if you don't have your health, then you can't be wealthy. You can't be wealthy. And you can take all the actions in the world to make sales, but at the end of the day, if you're exhausted and your body feels like shit, then what is the money even worth? And then wouldn't it feel so much more fulfilling? Like you get to the point that like your life doesn't even feel fulfilling because your body is screaming in pain and wanting you to like tap out. But we just naturally, our society just medicates that instead of doing simple things like 15 minutes a day to palliate, make your symptoms feel better, but also get to the root of them and have your eyes like bright and shiny and awareness to what's really causing it in the first place and what's really causing the, those moments where you're like, I don't know why I'm so tired. I have to wear like, I wear boots that zip up because I don't have the energy to like do anything crazier than that, and, mind fog, mental fog, where naturally as high performers, we tend to just push through it. And we tend to say, that's nice, but I'll rest at the end of the week. And then the end of the week comes and you blow it out all weekend and drink and, blow off the steam. And over time, it just starts to add up because these stressful situations that we're in on a day-to-day basis when we're selling our offers or making content or working with customers and, resolving issues people might have or getting rejected or not having motivation or feeling like you've got so much on your to-do list and not enough time in the day to even scratch the surface. So eventually the cycle happens where this overwhelm happens. The mental clarity goes down. Like you start to feel like your head is so filled with things to do and you don't even know where to start. Even if you are or have been a very high functioning member of like a corporate team in the past, where you've had a lot of responsibility. But like when you add in the pressure of having your own business, of having to make sure you're paying your bills, and beyond that, wanting to scale your business, but feeling like, your time is capped, or you don't know how to reach how to reach more clients, or how to double your sales. And these are all things that I can help you with. I have all the, answers in my head right now of how to do that. But also a big piece is the selling psychology of who are you showing up as when you are selling. People talk all day long about the buyer psychology, but then nobody actually talks about the selling psychology and how you are showing up, what's going on. It's not just like, how are you showing up outside to the outside world, but it's how are you showing up inside of your body too? What thoughts are going on inside of your body? What feelings are happening inside? These are the things that are trapped and stored that really end up being the real reason why you might say, I'm going to reach out to these clients today and actually do it, and you not doing that. So your business literally, you having the confidence to serve a higher level client, or you having that confidence to take the actions and see it through, like see your sales effort all the way through, instead of just doing a portion of it and then quitting before the finish line. So I'm going to leave it at that, because I really feel like this is something to ask yourself and really think about. Think about like, am I committed to being a winner in 2024? And by winner, I mean, are you committed to doubling your business? Are you committed to really going for 7 figures when you say you're going for 7 figures? Are you committed to doubling the amount of clients without doubling the amount of work that you're doing? All of these things are possible, but it requires you stepping out beyond the fears of it not working out, or of it having to be harder than it really needs to be, and you being able to give yourself permission to go for the goals that you actually want to achieve and experience in this life. Because let me tell you, we only get like a short amount of time here on earth. And the more and more that I realize the times I've compromised my own desires because of either something somebody else believes, or because of, a limiting thought that was implanted in me, or simply because I literally exhausted my system to the point that going for something that would actually feel like amazing to experience and hold and experience in this lifetime, it just feels like exhausting to go for. That's when I've run myself ragged into this adrenal like burnout, and now repairing myself from there. And I'm going to be sharing that story a lot, because it has everything to do with sales, because if you are like, it's one thing to handle the limiting thoughts that come up, but it's a whole nother thing to recognize and get in your body and feel, where am I holding myself back because I'm not showing up as the best version of me from a health standpoint and from a nervous system standpoint. Like you physically have to be able to hold and hold that stamina where you're out of the gates at one speed, and you're able to hold that speed throughout your week, and throughout the launch that you do, or throughout the sales process that you've set for yourself. Whether you are selling an evergreen program as a coach, or whether you are selling a product or service where you're constantly talking about it, or constantly being approached by new customers, or getting referrals and things like that. So think about that this week, because we're going to dive into more of this conversation on the podcast. It's one that really needs to be had, and I can't wait to have it with you. So tag me on social media and let me know what you think. Let me know where you stand with this, and I can't wait to serve you going forward in the future. Have a great week, and be sure to hit subscribe and share with your friends. Bye. If you loved this episode of I'm Not Salesy, then go ahead and hit subscribe so that you're notified of the next episode. And also leave a 5-star rating and a review. And if you send it to the link in the show notes, we will send you a present in return. We also love to feature reviews on the podcast as well. So we'd love to feature yours. So go ahead and send a screenshot to the inbox and come find me on social media. I love hearing what you're up to and how you're becoming not salesy too. I'll see you in the next episode.